What's up? Prince Sports here, baby. Damn, time went by fast. I just click on and it says live like for a minute, but never mind. Listening to the Sir. I'm back in the States. You can see the music booming in the background. You know how I normally do. I like going on live with the music, man. Nigga, if it ain't me, if it ain't a party, then it's gonna be the problems that I can't solve. I don't know if y'all can hear it. I hope you can. Harder to remember, getting harder to remember. That's the jam. This is Sir, a talented music artist out of Englewood, California. Get me down, get it to the top. Where we going? 2 miles an hour. Can you picture me rolling? Cause life is like a better when we live in slow motion. I was rocking to this in the Philippines too. Chilling. You going to the beach, you rocking that, that little reggae type of music. Man, they love some reggae music back there in the Philippines too. They listen to all types of music. You'd be surprised by some of the music they listen to. They listen to some Nas, some Jay-Z. I was like, what? I couldn't even imagine that they'd be listening to that type of music. I would thought that they'd be listening to more like Filipino music, but they're a very good group of people, man. And they were very nice. They're very into multiple cultures. They listen to reggae, hip hop, like I was saying. And, they blend in a lot of other cultures and they accept a lot of cultures in the Philippines. They're willing to say, okay, this is what they do in America. Let me give it a try and see if I like it. And that was pretty cool. That was probably the most coolest thing, that I had when I was going over there, man. The beaches is pretty cool. Man, yeah, they're cool people. So shout out to the Philippines. Shout out to Zambales. Shout out to Manila, even though it was like the oldest city I probably came across. But, Manila had like 1980s New York grimy look to it. I felt like I was in the 1990s again. I had to put the hoodie on, walk through the block, that type of stuff. But nevertheless, I want to talk about the NBA itself, okay? You watched a lot of these games very early in the season. Don't you get the sense that some of these games are these blowouts or whatever, just the quality of it is getting watered down? And I think one of the reasons for that is because they was rushed back to the season real quick. You put all these new guys on the team. They had like 2 weeks just to adjust and get settled to their new team. Then you tell them, hey, go and play basketball. The new season is coming. This is why you got a bunch of injuries to key players. Guys are getting hurt from left to right. And then on top of that, you're getting blowouts. Now, let's talk about the blowouts first. The first reason is the blowouts. I've seen more blowouts in this season so far than I've seen in a lot of seasons of watching basketball. And it's still early, but you're getting a lot of blowout games. The average NBA game now is about 20 to 30 points wins. All right, so you could go and get a hot dog. You could go and use the bathroom real quick, come out, and then your favorite team is down by 25 to 30 points. And you're like, what the hell is going on? I was just watching the game and, a couple of 3-pointers and my favorite team is already down by so much points. Milwaukee Bucks, they made a history in the NBA for shooting 29 3-pointers, okay? And this was like in a 92-second duration of shooting threes. Make history. These guys, what he was just launching three after three. The game has spread out so much that so offensive minded, so 3-point minded that they neglected a lot of old school stuff that you come used to watching. Guys just dribble the ball up and down the court sometimes and shoot threes, like every 1 to 2 possessions. You barely get guys driving to the basket sometimes, And to back up my claim, because I never say nothing without backing it up, the NBA today, in today's era, guys on 3-point shooting attempts are at 34.1. Back in the 90s, you know how many guys attempted threes? 12.2. Okay? So look at the big jump of three-pointers that guys shoot today in today's league. So that goes to show you that, you know, guys really heavy-centric on that three-point shot. Another thing is the NBA watered down? Another disappointing is the injuries, like I just was saying. Some of your favorite players or just key players on other teams are being hurt. It's going to hurt the NBA in the long run because I got a feeling the playoffs are going to have a lot of missing players, and you're going to use that as a handicap or dismiss certain teams winning because a lot of guys are going to be hurt. You know, that's going to happen. Injuries are common in basketball. They always happen. But you're going to get the feeling that, hey, these injuries are going to take place. They're going to happen. And just wait until I could see it now. Let's say like it's the NBA Finals. It's the Lakers and Nets. Let's just say Lakers and Nets in the NBA Finals. Kevin Durant go down. Kyrie Irving go down. They're already taking load management. You know, just imagine how many other guys are just going to, I'm out. I just twist my knee. I just this. You know, so injuries is hurting the game a lot. And I notice every time I watch in basketball, somebody's on the injured list. It's always popping up a new injury, you know, and it's going to be a hard NBA season. And guys are going to do a lot of load management because they was forced to come back. So now they're going to do a lot of that. And you're going to get a watered down product. You know, yeah, some of these games have been watered down. The only good game that I can mention that I thought was like over the top, good, entertaining was the Nets and the Atlanta Hawks out of all teams. You know, you never thought you'd get an entertaining game out of Atlanta Hawks, right? But nevertheless, they gave us an entertaining game. You know, went into overtime in the high 40s. The average NBA game is about 120, you know, or more. So that's another downfall to some of the games that you see right now, you know. And before I even continue with my little soliloquy on the NBA, let me just put this in a live chat. All right. I'm going to show y'all what I got from the Philippines when I was there, too. I bought a couple of kicks. I gave some away. Bought them, then gave them away. So, but I kept some. You know, I kept some of the kicks or whatever when I was over there. I was in the Philippines for about 3 months. You know, you've seen a couple of the videos, early stages of the family house that we was building. Far from complete. I would say it's about 20% complete, and I left it about 20% complete. I'm going to go back and work on it. When I head back out there, I'm going to work on it again. You know, even though I feel like some of the workers I paid, we overpaid them. You know, we could have gave them, you know, 500 to like 300 pesos to work on the house. And I think we gave them a little too much to work on the house with, you know, but it is what it is sometimes, man. You just got to go by it. You got to deal with the consequences sometimes, you know. Now, another thing is a little small minor adjustment, but you don't realize it till it's gone. You ever heard the impression, you don't know what you get until it's gone? Well, the missing fans due to corona virus, it really hurt the NBA a lot. I kind of miss seeing the fans cheer and boo. It kind of make the NBA a little more authentic, right? Instead of getting all these fake stuff in the crowd, these virtual fans, it's so corny. You know, I'd rather have, you know what I'm saying, real fans in there so they could boo and cheer on their favorite team. I think that what makes sense to the utmost, you know. Is there any games on? Any live games on? So let's find out if there's any live games on right now, too. So if there's any live games on, I could get at those a little bit and see what's going on with that. But nevertheless, we're going to sit here for a while and see if anybody jump on. If they don't, then it is what it is, you know. I'm just going to talk my shit and get some stuff off my chest. And since I'm here, I want to talk. Oh, what up, Tay? What's up, man? Going live, man. Doing my thing. What's up with you? But I wanted to talk about something else too. And what I wanted to talk about was some people here, man. Listen, man, when you go to watch somebody on YouTube, right, as a whatever uploader that you watch, okay, we all in the sports community. So I got a hint that we watch multiple guys when it comes to talking about basketball or any other sport. You know, so if you disagree with somebody on something they say, you could write in the comment section about it, but don't have a Rudy Poo his fit about it, okay? It is what it is. If I share a different opinion from you, I'm going to back my opinion up with stats, with facts of why I think what is what, okay? I'm not going to just speak something into existence without having researched it first. I research something, then I come down to my conclusion, all right? That's simple. If you don't like it, then go and check for it yourself, okay? Don't sit there and tell me, oh, you're a hater because you don't put this guy in the top 5, and I love him so much. I need to have him in my top 5. Dog, that's your problem, man, all right? I don't have to sit here and say LeBron James is the most clutch basketball player of all time. Most of us don't think that. Everybody have different opinions, you know? Yeah, I know my Knicks is doing all right, man. We doing it right in New York. You know, we don't look like the Brooklyn Nets, but we're doing it right. You know, we're hanging in there, man. We're hanging in there. You know, and that's all you can ask for, really. You know, we ain't gonna make no real noise anyway. It's the Knicks. You know, we're gonna have to take them L's all the time. Taking them L's all day, every day. So at the end of the day, we're gonna take L's. You know, but it'd be good. Imagine if we could make the playoffs as the 8th seed. That'd be nice. You know, okay, so that's what you guys have to understand. I was talking to my man Blue, and he sit there and say he don't feel people give LeBron enough respect or they don't appreciate his greatness. If somebody sit there and say a guy's a top 10 or a top 5, and they don't put them any higher than what you think they should be, that's enough respect right there. We don't have to get on our knees and praise somebody and sit there and say, hey, I think this guy should be this guy should be that. Okay, if you got LeBron ranked number 6 in your all-time greatest players list, at least that means you only got 5 guys ranked ahead of him. What's your problem? Okay, what are we talking about here? What's the problem? You could debate and sit there and say, well, I don't think he should be ranked number 6, but that's not going to change the other person's opinion. And don't call the other person a hater because they think 5 other guys is better. So you mean all the other people in the world that think Tim Duncan, Kobe Bryant, Kareem, Magic, Bird, better than LeBron James, they're haters because they think the other guys are better? Why can't it just be that they think, in their honest opinion, that they think those guys are better? As simple as that. I ran into some people that think Larry Bird's better than, still better than LeBron James. And then when you look at the stats and you look at the numbers, they're not too far apart. You know? So before you call somebody else a hater because they think another basketball player is better, but they clearly said, I think LeBron's a top 5 or a top 10, how's that hating? Do I have to put LeBron number 1 on everything? So I make the greatest list of the greatest shooters of all time. I got to put LeBron on here? Fuck that. I speak my opinion. If I think Steph Curry's a better 3-point shooter than LeBron, I'm going to back it up and tell you why I think he's a greater 3-point shooter. All you had to do is watch the damn games and look at it. Get out of here with that. You know, you guys can't take other people's opinions. It's retarded. You know? Okay, some people feel Larry Bird is better than LeBron James. If you look at their stats, they're not too far off. Larry Bird is just good as a rebounder. Matter of fact, they average just about the same. Okay? Larry Bird is just as good of a passer as LeBron James. You got to watch these games to know that. All right? Larry Bird's a better shooter than LeBron James. LeBron James is better at attacking the basket. Yes. You know? But when it comes to efficiency, they're not too far off. Larry Bird is just as good as LeBron James in many aspects. LeBron James is a better defensive player. Okay? That's not saying much because neither one of them are lights out defenders, especially one-on-one. But let's just give the edge to LeBron James, okay? But they're not too far off. Larry Bird averaged about 27 points a game. LeBron James averages just about, okay? They're dead and even in a lot of things. There's some people that feel Larry Bird is better. Are they haters because they feel Larry Bird is better? I don't think Larry Bird is better, but some people do, okay? I don't call them haters because they think different. You guys need to get out of your feelings and just talk basketball. Yeah, he's a better shooter. And when it comes to rebounding and passing, he was just as good. Look at the numbers. The stats say the same thing. Now, athletic ability, yes, you're right. Athletic ability and driving to the basket. Okay, LeBron's a better driver to the basket than Larry Bird is. But Larry Bird was a cold brother. And they played against each other, and Larry Bird beat LeBron James because he's a good shooter and all this other stuff. You can't sit there and get mad at it. You know, some people think Larry Bird's better. Their stats are not too far. One guy is a 3-time MVP. The other guy's a 4. There's not that much of a difference in that. One guy got 3 championships. The other guy got 4. Okay, so they're not too far off. Again, I don't think Larry Bird's better than LeBron James. Again, I don't think Larry Bird's better than LeBron James. But some people think Larry Bird is better. I disagree. If Luka could average 27 points a game, Sean Kemp said Larry Bird could average 30. Luka is the next generation of Larry Bird. Luka averaged damn near a triple-double in today's game. A game where the average pace of the NBA game is 100.1. Back in the 80s and 90s, the average pace was 90.1. I looked that up. I studied the stats. So if the game is more spread open and more wide, you think a guy that can't shoot the basketball and it's a 3-point centric league, Larry Bird can't shoot the 3 ball? Are you kidding me? Larry Bird would average 30. If slow Luka could average 27, Larry Bird could average 30. And keep in mind, Larry Bird, if he was part of this generation, his skill set would be even more better. His skill set would be right up there with everybody else. And if you could shoot the ball in today's basketball, in today's league, you could average 30 a game. Larry Bird would average 30 points a game. He's the same thing like Luka. And Larry Bird's better than Luka, by the way, because he's more clutch. So if Luka could do it, Larry Bird could do it. And this is the words from Sean Kemp. Sean Kemp said Larry Bird would average 30 points in today's league. Yeah, he's an iffy shooter. He's an iffy shooter. Off and on. It's like rolling dice. You just don't know what you're going to get. You know? You know, greatness transcends to any era. You mean to tell me a guy that can't shoot won't average 30 a game? In today's league, you won't even be able to touch Larry Bird. He'd be shooting threes all day long. This is the same guy that won the 3-point contest with his hand standing up. You know, thank you, man. You guys got to start putting some respect on some of these guys. Just because you haven't seen these players play, you're just going to go about saying, oh, they were different. You know, oh, so they wouldn't average this amount. The game was much lower in Larry Bird's era, more physical. That's a fact. And it was catered to the big man even more. So if you like to ground and pound, that was a different era. But the game is more spread out. The rules help offensive-minded players score more. So Larry Bird was a pure shooter. And he was clutch. If he able to hang with some of the most athletic players back then, why wouldn't he be able to do it now? LeBron's points come mostly from 0 to 3 points. 0 to 3 feet away from the basket. So he is still relying on his athletic ability to get to the cup. He's a power player. He's not a guy that you look for in skill. Because when it's looked for offensive skill, guys that have a great skill set, you turn to the Kobe's, the Allen Iversons, you know, guys that use skill to get baskets. It's different. Not at all. Larry Bird would be a superstar in today's league. So would Magic Johnson. That's just disrespect to Larry Bird. This is how it is to a lot of people. People just tend to disrespect people because you haven't seen them play. The game is offensive minded. Tell me a guy that wouldn't shoot, wouldn't be great. Larry Bird if Larry Bird came in the same generation, he'd be having the same state of mind. No, he'd probably be listening to rap music. This is the same guy that Larry Bird who felt disrespected because a lot of the brothers would sleep on him. Like, oh, don't guard that white boy. Don't guard that white boy and see him shoot the lights out. Dominique Wilkins, Magic Johnson, Michael Jordan all learned the hard way that Larry Bird was no joke. That man got pissed off, he'd shoot the lights out. Magic, I'd give Magic the edge over Bird, but Bird ain't no sourpuff. Yeah, they don't know about Larry Bird. They just want to tend to disrespect him because he's a white guy, or whatever the case may be. If Dirk and Luka could score in today's league, Larry Bird could be a great basketball player in today's league. And he's better than both of them. Larry Bird is better than Dirk Nowitzki and better than Luka the Don. I already watched those games. I still not gonna rely on LeBron James for a jumper. That's still his weakness. That's how Greg Pop got the best of him. Force LeBron James into a jump shooter, and it's gonna be squeaky. Then you could beat him. That's great coaching by legendary Greg Pop. You analyze somebody's weakness and you go after it. Larry Bird wasn't the best then, but he still was an elite basketball player. He still was a top 5. If Luka's a top 5 or MVP candidate, then Larry Bird would be. Larry Bird was 6'9" and could shoot the lights out. So is Luka. Luka's slow too. That still don't stop him. Oh, here's a perfect example. Ain't the Joker slow? The Joker from Denver Nuggets, ain't he slow? I'll wait. Ain't he an all-star? So speed has nothing to do with it. If you got game, you got game. I played against some guys that was slow as molasses. But guess what? They could put that ball in the basket. They 6'9", and they could shoot. Chris Mellington is another guy that could shoot the lights out. Run MTC. Remember them? Mitch Richmond, Tim Hardaway, and Chris Mullin. Oh, he'd be a beast too. He'd be a beast too, because Shaq could still run the floor. And if you can't touch him, big ass Shaq throwing them elbows on people, man, you damn right he'd drop numbers. That's not the point. The point is the Joker an all-star in today's league? Yes or no? The question is yes. He's one of the best passing big men in the game. He brings a lot to the game. It's simple as that. He's an all-star. So if he could be an all-star, if Luka could be an all-star, so could Larry Bird. I didn't say Larry Bird would be the best player in the game. He still would be an elite basketball player because he could shoot the three. Something that you guys rely heavy on. 34%, right? 34.1. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing, man. A lot of people are new to basketball. All they know is LeBron and Steph Curry, and they tend to disrespect the next generation. But a lot of generations do that. I remember the 80s was trying to disrespect the 90s because I was around for all of these eras. And I remember people tend to always disrespect. But these are pro basketball players we're talking about, all right? So as the rules keep changing, and if you take away the defense from basketball and you make it more, I want this game to be more free-flowing for people to play basketball, then of course a guy that could score is going to average more points. In 2005, the NBA implanted new rules to make the offensive players score more. That same season, Kobe, LeBron, Vince Carter, the list goes on, T-Mac, all had career numbers. All was averaging a lot of career numbers, leading the league in scoring, going back and forth because they had 50-point games, all these high-scoring games because the league was wide open. That's when they spread the flow out and let everybody score more points. Man, no way, no how. Nobody trusts LeBron shooting consistently. He's an iffy shooter. It's a 50-50. LeBron's best attribute is driving to the basket and passing the ball. That's all he's going to be. Yeah, but Joker's a superstar, and he regarded as one of the best big men in the league in today, and he's slow as molasses. Now, prime Dwight Howard, yeah, maybe you do. He was a defensive force. Dwight Howard is a first ballot or second ballot Hall of Famer. No matter how you look at it, he's still a Hall of Famer. Oh, crap. Okay, the Rockets just beat the Kings. James Harden dropped 33 points. You know, I disagree. I don't think the league was watered down in the 90s. You know, it wasn't a guard-centric league. It was catered to the bigs. So if you like playing the 5 position, that was probably the best, basketball, because it was post-up basketball more. It was more shooting twos and driving to the basket. I wouldn't say no era is watered down, because that's disrespect to a lot of the great players that played the game. You know, no era in basketball is watered down. You know, even though the topic of this video is the NBA watered down, I'm talking about just this season because of the injuries and the blowouts. His three-point game is still suspect. There's a lot of better three-point shooters, you know? Yeah, it'd be good to have a little roughneck, 90s basketball going on, but a lot of guys was getting hurt because he was playing that Doug-style basketball. But that's what the 90s was about. A lot of guys suffered injuries in the 90s because it was just rough and tough. Guys getting hit all the time. So the NBA wanted to protect his stars more. And it gives the stars more longevity. Kevin Durant is a better three-point shooter than LeBron. There's a lot of guys in today's league better three-point shooters than LeBron. When it comes to shooting, I don't want LeBron James shooting the ball. Matter of fact, I don't want LeBron James really in the clutch because he has some of the worst clutch basketball this season, just this season alone. I can actually pull up the numbers for you if you don't believe it. This year in the playoffs, watch this. This year in the playoffs, we're going to look at LeBron's numbers for this year in the playoffs, his clutch stats. All right, hold on for a sec. Let me get them. I'm going to get them right here, right now, real quick. I'm going to locate them right now. All right, done. All right. Can you see this? LeBron James in the clutch averaged, in this postseason, averaged 1.3 points. Okay, he shot 18.8 field goal percentage. He shot 0.0 from 3. And free throws was 77%. He had the lowest clutch stats in the playoffs this past season. That means he was getting saved by Rajon Rondo and Anthony Davis a lot. That's the proof. You guys like going by stats, right? Well, the stats say LeBron James wasn't clutch this past season. Just like the stats say in 2018, LeBron James didn't play much defense. It's the truth. It is what it is. I just showed you the facts right there. If KD played in the 80s and 90s, he'll still drop 20 plus a game. Even more, probably even more in some seasons. He may have a season when he lead the league in scoring. He's just that good of a shooter. If you could shoot, it's a skill that nobody could take away. He didn't carry the teams this past season. That was Anthony Davis doing more of the heavy lifting. I just showed you the clutchness right there. That wins games. When the game is on the line, somebody had to step up. It wasn't LeBron all the time. Yep. I'm not even going to the past. I'm just going to this past season. I just showed you it. Proof. He averaged 1.3 in the clutch and only shot 18%. Field goal percentage. When the game was on the line, when the game mattered the most, somebody was carrying LeBron James more in clutch situations. Against the Houston Rockets, it was Rajon Rondo. Again, Anthony Davis hit that clutch game winner. I think it was against Houston. But he did a lot of heavy lifting for LeBron. Anthony Davis is regarded as a top 5 player in the league. All right? And at the same age, 35, Michael Jordan won his 6th championship. But he carried the team a little more. Scottie Pippen had a bad back. Ron Harper had bad knees. Tony Kukoc was a defensive liability. And if you look at the stats and the numbers, that was one of the weakest supporting cast. They beat a 61-20 team in the Utah Jazz. The X factor was Michael Jordan. LeBron James was good all playoffs until the 4th quarter. Jordan did not get saved by John Paxson. That was game 6. They had another game to play. The series was not on the line. Now, LeBron got saved by Ray Allen because if Ray Allen don't hit that shot, they go home. There's the big difference. If Kyrie Irving don't hit that shot, they probably lose. These are final games. The Bulls never was in jeopardy of losing. Okay, if John Paxson didn't hit that 3, they still had another game to play. It is what it is. I just proved it with the stats. No, LeBron is not the only guy that gets saved. Plenty of the superstars get saved. There are moments when Kobe got saved. But I'm just pointing it out right now because LeBron happens to be the guy currently playing. So it is what it is. I already talked about Kobe being saved in the past before. Now check this out. This is some of the stuff I bought in the Philippines. Woo-hoo-hoo. With the NBA Finals logo on the back. I'm going to show y'all my collection. This is all that I got while I was in the Philippines. All right? Here go another one. Luka the Don. That's Jimmy Butler and Luka the Don. We're going new school, right? We're going today. Okay, but that's a different series. We're talking about the finals. So those are 2 complete different things. You can't do hypotheticals all the time. Cat, boom, boom. So I'm pitting out a lot right there, you know. Now the stats say different. LeBron in the clutch didn't show up. I just gave it to you. You know, people going, that's the numbers. And if you watch the games, how many times have we said Rajon Rondo saved the Lakers? Playoff Rondo was real. Okay? He got carried. All right? It is what it is. You could blame it on age, but at the end of the day, it is what it is. Miami 22. Butler 22. Okay, again. I wouldn't say it. I think it's based off a lot of stuff. I wouldn't say it's hate. It's just that some people don't agree with certain rankings that he's get. It's as simple as that. Some people feel that he's overrated. I think there's more people that feel LeBron is overrated than actually underrated. You know, I always said LeBron, he's going to go down as the Floyd Mayweather of the NBA. Because you know how Floyd self-promoting himself as the GOAT, but nobody believes it? That's the same way LeBron do it. LeBron has self-promoted himself as the GOAT, but nobody's buying it. Not much people are buying it. It's as simple as that. It is what it is, man. And some people just don't feel that way about it. Some people feel Kobe's better. I know for a fact Kobe would have waxed LeBron in 2008, 2009, and 20. He would have lost 3 straight finals, you know? I disagree. I think MJ's far from overrated because he gave me everything I was asking for, you know? And even if, let's say he didn't retire and he went 7-1, it's still a great record compared to going 4-6. Let's say he got beat by Hakeem. Let's just give Hakeem his credit because Hakeem was a beast in 2004, you know, winning Defensive Player of the Year and MVP. Okay, let's just say he beats Jordan in 2004. I mean, not 2004, 1994. Jordan still would have went off about 7 championships and probably 1 loss. Still better. You know? Kawhi. Telling y'all, my jersey game is sick. You know? And here's to you, Raw and Loyalty, since y'all love LeBron so much. Okay? I'm a basketball fan. I like everybody. But I do have rankings, and I have certain criteria I go by. You know, just because I don't rank LeBron in the same position as you, don't make me a hater. That's what people can't tend to understand. He's like, Kawhi is overrated. He may be. He has this year to prove it. He can always redeem himself. R.I.P. Y'all know I had to bring the Kobe out, you know. In the Philippines, they love Kobe a lot, so that's why I said I had to bring it out. I was going to get it out. And boom, check out this one. Y'all like this one? That's one of my favorite ones, just by the color alone, I like. He saved them against the Houston Rockets. Had big clutch moments. Playoff Rondo was real. I mean, don't underlook playoff Rondo. He did good. Hey, let me hold that, James. Yo, that's the hot one, though. That's the light blue Memphis Lakers one. You know, man, I got love for everybody. There's no hate. So if I rank somebody above somebody, it's a reason for that. It's based off research. Boom. LeBron's a great basketball player, but there's too much buts. But this, but that. That's because there's holes in that resume, you know, for a lot of people. Some people feel Tim Duncan's better than Kobe. I mean, not Kobe, better than LeBron. He did beat LeBron twice. And one of those times he beat LeBron, he was old as dirt. And the X factor in that series was Kawhi Leonard. If you take Kawhi Leonard off that, LeBron would have been averaging 40. He would have beat that San Antonio Spurs team. They had no answer for LeBron until they picked Kawhi on him. Kawhi was the X factor. Look at Kawhi's stats when he guarded LeBron. I looked it up. I did my research. All right? I watched the games. Boom. Look at that one. More Golden State. More Golden State. And they had this in the Philippines too. I had to cop it. Boom. You know, I was rocking the MJ. You know. Good question. I don't know where Tunes was at. Tunes at, man. He be disappearing sometimes. But Craig Brown, come up in here and get some smoke if you like. You know, I put the link in the thing. All you had to do is come. You know, he's going to sit there and start crying because I didn't put LeBron ranked higher in the all-time clutch list. You know, at least I put him on there. What's your problem? He's like, Kawhi. Oh, man. You're going to do Kawhi dirty like that, Loyalty? He's still a good player, man. I mean, regardless of the situation, he is called the dynasty killer. He stopped the Miami Heat dynasty, and he stopped the Golden State Warriors dynasty. I mean, that's the narrative around it. Starks equals Jordan? Come on, man. I can't even reply to that one. I think John Starks will probably come do the screen and hit you, Raw. He'd be like, what? What you said? Yeah, he does, but he also has more choke moments than both of those guys. And if you ever think about the fact that some of those guys, especially Jordan and Kobe, when they were in their prime, they didn't let it get to a point when a clutch situation was needed. They're already just putting their foot on people's neck. Miami. Got the pink Miami wave. I don't know if I'm really gonna rock that because it's pink, but I mean it's like a collector's item. Wade is a third best shooting guard of all time, so I had to put him down there. You know, he said go read a book about basketball. Oh man, and here come the old school LeBron. He was selling that in the Philippines. That's my favorite version of LeBron, the Cavaliers. You know, everybody got phases. I think from 2012 to 2018 was probably like, you know, that was championship LeBron. But when he came in the league until 2010, even though he didn't win the championship, I had the most respect for him during those seasons. So that was show me what you got seasons. You know, show me how much of a superstar you are. That's what I like the most about it. Yeah. Yeah, he did. And he got criticized for that, you know. But you can't come to in every clutch moment. You're going to fail something. You know, I just trust Kobe more than I trust LeBron if it's a clutch situation. Not everybody clutch comes due. People do miss shots. But nobody struck more fear in the defensive lineup more than Kobe, especially in clutch time. That's why he got fouled a lot, double teamed a lot, because they know one guarding Kobe 101 in his prime. You know, he was that dude. He was Mr. Fourth Quarter at some point. They used to call Kobe Mr. Fourth Quarter. Well, look at Cleveland. I had the Cleveland Kyrie Irving. They were selling it. I had to collectors. I like Kyrie Irving and LeBron when they played together. I thought they were a good tag team. I think they were a better duo. No, he wouldn't be a champion without LeBron. He was the Robin, you know. I disagree, Loyalty. A lot of people were scared of Kobe. Yes, they were. Kobe actually got a lot of people scared when you was watching him play. You know, if you had money against him and you was rooting against him, fourth quarter came around, people were scared. John Wall. Kobe struck fear into his opponents. That is true. That is, to say he didn't is completely different. Now, LeBron James didn't struck fear in a lot of people. This is why he gets disrespected a lot. You know, most people think clutch time, LeBron's going to pass the ball to somebody to have them shoot the shot. But man, people were scared of Kobe in his prime. And Kobe would have had NBA championship victories over LeBron James in 2009 and 2010. That'd have been really hurtful towards LeBron's ranking if you want to put him ahead of Kobe. And let's just say, for example, the Lakers made the finals in 2011 and LeBron still performed the way he performed, Kobe would have beaten LeBron. I don't think it's that. I just think some people think Kobe's just better. Some people tell me Kareem's better than LeBron. Tim Duncan, Kobe. I mean, there's a long list of players that people think LeBron's not better than. They feel like LeBron is overrated because he keep leapfrogging on some people, and some of these people that he leapfrogging over beat him. Yeah. I don't want to call it hate. I mean, there are some LeBron haters out there. Yes, they are. But there are some people that 100% feel that, hey, how is he better than this guy? You know, how is he better than that guy? You know, there's some people that don't think LeBron's the best player in the game today. You know, some people think Kawhi and Kevin Durant is better than LeBron James. I had a guy, Peter Cash. He said Kawhi Leonard's better than LeBron James. So there's a lot of people out there just not a believer in LeBron James. Like, Tay, you believe Kobe's better than LeBron James, right? But guess what? It's not like you're in the minority. I think more people in the general public respect Kobe Bryant more than they respect LeBron James. He's nowhere near But hey, man, raw. A lot of people feel Kawhi is better. You know, it's not like it's a myth. It's not like we're making this up. You know, I'm gonna give you a perfect example. Same thing I gave Blue. I think Nas is the greatest rapper of all time, right? I had to have common sense to realize that I'm in the minority. Okay, so most people won't agree with me. Most people will say it's Tupac, Biggie, or Jay-Z, right? I run into that a lot. So for me to dismiss those other people and act like they don't exist and act like, oh, my opinion is greater, way greater than theirs, it's just somebody being naive. You're not being open to reality and the facts that most people don't agree with what you agree with. Okay? That doesn't change with my opinion. I still think Nas is the GOAT, but I do understand that I'm going to get pushback from that because most people don't agree with that. You know, to this day, people tell me Biggie's better than Nas. People tell me, you know, Tupac's better than Nas. You know, yeah, Tupac wasn't a lyricist, but not everybody goes by that criteria. Some people just go by straight up songs. Some people feel like Tupac's songs are more better than Nas. You know, this is what I've been told. You know? Now, in all fairness, you do need help to win a team game, a championship. But there's a difference between stacking the deck and winning with, you know, such and such player. You know, that's the difference. So you're gonna get penalized. Magic got penalized for playing with Kareem. 2 top 5 players on the same team. So you're gonna get penalized. Not only 2 top 5 players, but 2 top 5 greatest players of all time to most people. So you're gonna get penalized for that. Nobody gets Scottie Pippen in the top 5. Damn near nobody does. Hell, he's not even ranked in the top 10. You know? So it's a little more impressive when you could win with less, opposite to winning with a bunch of with more, you know? That's a little more than a myth because when you break the game down, LeBron James still has problems closing games out. The free throw shooting, no go-to offensive move. Okay, why do you think he passes the ball sometimes when he should be the guy taking the shot sometimes? This is what people want. They want to see LeBron taking that shot. So by that logic, that means Jerry West is better than LeBron James too. Jerry West is better than Jordan and Kobe because he been to the finals more. What's more impressive, going to the finals or winning it? Isn't the name of the game is winning? What's the point of going to the finals every year just to lose? You know, but we got to see. I mean, Kawhi Leonard, he's still labeled as a better player than LeBron James to a lot of people. As Iguodala in 2015, the Cavs were up 2-1. All of a sudden, Steve Kerr switched the rotation, put Iguodala on LeBron. Iguodala wins Finals MVP for guarding LeBron James. And afterwards, LeBron James went to the podium and said he was tired. Why would you say that? Why would you come on with a cask after you lose to the Golden State Warriors? Because you want to control the narrative of why you lost. Why after game 1, when you score 51, you have a meltdown instead of saying, hey, the game is going into overtime. Let me put my foot on their neck some more. It's time to close them out in this one game. In the East, I don't know. The East is labeled as a weaker conference. So I would think if Kobe could lead a team to the championship in the West, why can't he do it in a weaker East? Kobe played 20 years in a more tougher conference. Not even Jordan faced more tougher competition than Kobe. He played in a stacked West conference for 20 years. The records are there to prove it. Kobe faced some of the most toughest competition and had some of the most toughest roads to winning an NBA championship. Yeah, they got hurt, but LeBron James went into beast mode, and he still put them 2 games up to 1, and you had a chance to really put your foot on their neck and have lead 3 games to 1 in your own building in Cleveland. If you're averaging 40 a game, then all of a sudden Iguodala comes on you and your offense just goes down, what does that say? He's still offensively limited. There's flaws in LeBron James's game, and it's only those flaws are on the offensive end. Yeah, he got his 1 championship, but imagine playing 20 years in there. You think LeBron would be into the final? Do you think LeBron would be in the finals every single year if he played in the Western Conference? Some people say no. Now, I say he probably would get there because he would have been stacking the deck. Same way he's doing with this Lakers team. Don't they got 2 6-man of the year candidates on one team? Don't they got a top 5 player on one team with LeBron? Then they arguably got better. I rest my case. Kobe won 2 championships with Paul Gasol. It's a little more respectable. Paul Gasol he probably get the same amount of props as Kevin Love get. And Kobe was able to win 2 chips with that guy. Go to the finals 3 times. Hold on. Now I'm going to show you my kicks. These are the kicks that I bought when I was in the Philippines. The Giannis Antetokounmpo. You see the green on them? See that word right there? Antetokounmpo. With the fatigue army joints. Got these in the Philippines. Giannis. And Ross, since you love LeBron James so much, here you go again. The gray LeBrons. You know, I caught these. Then I bought the crazy Kanye West. These are the Kanye's. I actually like these because they fit on my foot like wallabies. And then I went old school, but I liked it anyway. A lot of people liked it. The New York Knicks Porzingis shoes when he was with the Knicks. I saw them in the store. I was like, yo, I got to get them. Check this out. Look how I say NYC on them. You know, as a native New Yorker, born and raised in New York, man, I had to cop these. The New York Knicks colors. I got them, all the whole New York Knicks colors right here. Hey, it could go both ways. Because guess what? That Golden State Warriors team was green. If they're as overrated as you guys claim they are, he should probably been able to pull it off. You guys called Steph Curry and all these dudes choke artists. So how come the minute Iguodala gets on LeBron, his production goes, Why is that? So if you didn't put Iguodala on LeBron, they probably would have won that series. And that would have been even more oppressive. That would have been real oppressive. And of course, to top it off, got the Carmelo Anthony, you know. Yeah, Rodman was a good player, but let's not act like Dennis Rodman was, you know, a top 5 player in the league. In 1998, Dennis Rodman was coming off the bench against a 50-win team in the Indiana Pacers, and the Bulls still won. Matter of fact, if you want to compare age 35, LeBron and Jordan beat more 50-win teams and a 60-win team in the finals. LeBron's all his teams he faced in the NBA playoffs were 40-win teams. No 50-win teams. No 60-ball club teams. Yeah, he has some good role players with him. Was Gasol a top 5 player in the league when he was playing with Kobe? No. Nah, come on, man. Sugar free. Oh, man, come on, man. I got Nas as my GOAT. You know, it's the Queensbridge thing, man. Yeah. What can I say? You know, but even if he wasn't from the bridge and I just heard him flow or heard him rap, I would have still had him as my GOAT anyway. You know, it has nothing to do with him coming from the bridge, man. It's a simple fact that he's the dude that I figure with, you know. You probably just, yo, dog, yo, bro, look at these, man. Tell me these ain't some bad kicks. These kicks is nice. They fit comfortable on them. You know, too bad Porzingis didn't stay with my Knicks. You know, this is why you got hurt, man. This is why you keep getting hurt playing on the Dallas Mavericks. You need to get some of that New York back in you, boy. This is what you need. You need that NYC flavor. You know, he couldn't handle the criticism and the toughness of New Yorkers. That's why. You know, that's why he wanted to leave. Or he probably just didn't like Dolan. He thought Dolan was a mess up. You know, nobody wants to go to the Knicks because they think Dolan is a jackass. You know, just simple as that. So, and that's just crazy, man. You know, Scottie Pippen had a bad back in 1998. You know, getting carried by Jordan a lot. And Jordan was running on fumes at age 35, asking a lot for a 35-year-old. That's a joke. Come on, Loyalty. I know you know you're trolling with that. There's no way Dennis Rodman is better than Jordan. No way. Dennis Rodman was like, hey, you could defense Michael Jordan. You could defense anything in the world. See, even his opponents got the utmost respect for him because they know we put this guy through hell and back. And he came and he never bowed down. You know? Yeah, he faced the Warriors with KD, you know, but still don't give him a pass. I mean, it is what it is. Depending on what team, because KD couldn't handle Kobe for a certain amount of time in his career. You know, so if he can't handle Kobe, he damn sure can't handle Mike. You know, Kobe's the perfect example of how a lot of guys will have problems with Mike, you know, because he stole a lot of Jordan's skill set, but Jordan was just a more effective and better defensive player. He had them big hands, you know. And Loyalty, I hate to tell you, but if you watch a lot of Kobe and LeBron's one-on-one matchups, Kobe gave LeBron the business a lot. Shooting shots in his face. Even in 2016, old Kobe was giving LeBron the business. I mean, it just is what it is. It's another guy LeBron didn't really want to guard too much. You know, don't you want to guard the best players? I don't get that. Get some of that smoke. Yeah, he has some shoes. He signed a contract with Adidas, you know, but he left my Knicks. That's all right. You can leave my Knicks all you want. All right. Let's see how much good luck you get in Dallas. But those are the kicks. I don't know if I'm gonna wear these too much. The Giannis Antetokounmpos, I got them a little too big. They're like 10.5, and I'm just a squiggly 10. You know, and still say right here, it's Giannis Antetokounmpo, and at least in the side of it has the word dunker, letting you know this guy loves the dunk. You know. Nah, I mean, as far for KD beating Jordan, I don't know, man. Depends on what team he probably would have been on. But, you know, Jordan was a ruthless dude, man. And KD's kind of sensitive. So, the mind controls the body. Don't ever disrespect the mental aspect of basketball because the mind controls the body. You know, LeBron said it himself. He felt like some type of nervous, like in the fourth quarter or whatever. And after that 2011, he went and got help. You know, I guess he talked it to somebody about his mental problems or mental breakdowns in the fourth. And he recovered from it. He got better after 2011. Yeah, but for only one possession, though. It's not like it was during the whole game. You know, that's not true. That is not true. Look up the numbers of Kobe guarding LeBron or LeBron playing against Kobe. LeBron shot a very low field goal percentage against Kobe, too. You know, LeBron's teams won because about time that matchup was taking place, LeBron was on those big threes, Miami Heats. Then he had Kyrie Irving and Kevin Love. The Lakers couldn't find the good players after that. You know, winning records in the regular season don't mean you're a better player. Kawhi Leonard got a better winning record than LeBron. So if you're gonna go by that, you know, if you're gonna go by that, then that means Kawhi Leonard's better than LeBron. Don't Kawhi Leonard got a better winning record against LeBron? You got to be objective. You got to put stuff into context. Kobe got a winning record against MJ. Is he better? No. A lot of that came down in Jordan's later years. And then when Jordan came back and played with the Washington Wizards, and he said Kobe couldn't fill his shoes, and Kobe went and dropped 51. So it's stuff like that that motivates certain players. Now, if Jordan said that to LeBron, I don't know if LeBron would came back and scored 50, you know, because he's been too humble. He said it himself. He's humbled in the eyes of Jordan. He said he looked at Jordan and was like, oh, my God, this guy's a god. You know, it was like Black Jesus. This is LeBron saying this himself. This is his own words. OK, Kobe looked at Mike and was like, oh, I want to go at this guy. I want to come into the league to go at this guy. Kobe had no fear against going against Michael. You know, LeBron James had the little boy aspect approach to Michael Jordan. Kobe didn't have that. Oh, definitely not. He is not the most mentally tough player ever. Oh, he wouldn't be dinking like what I just told you. When Kobe first came into the league, he told you the story in the interview. Guys would say, oh, you don't want to go up against Mike. That's Black Jesus. And Kobe's like, forget that, man. I'm going at this guy. That was Kobe's attitude towards Mike. He wanted to go at him. Same way with Allen Iverson. Jordan called Allen Iverson a little bitch. And then Allen Iverson was like, okay, here come that crossover. Okay? And ever since that day, Mike was like, oh, I got respect for that little dude. Yeah. Okay? These type factors LeBron wouldn't do. He wouldn't come and approach or talk to these guys like that. Too humble. But you gotta put your foot on somebody's neck when they're on top of the hill. You either have it in you or you don't. Mentally, LeBron just doesn't have that. You know? He had been more humble towards Mike. Like, oh man, it's Michael Jordan. Kobe wasn't like that. And to this day, Kobe, well, he passed away. But when he was alive, Kobe never said Mike was better than him. Even when they played in the league, Kobe was still thinking that he was better than Mike. And that's the type of attitude you gotta have. Mike saw that. He said, oh man, you know what? This guy crazy. You know, he's thinking like me. Like I said, they would have lost that finals if Ray don't hit that shot. The Spurs lost the finals by rebound and a Ray Allen shot. Even if LeBron scored all those points in the fourth quarter, they still would have lost. If Ray Allen don't hit that shot. LeBron took the shot. I give him props for taking the shot, but it clanked and missed. You talking about the Golden State Warriors needed a super team? I don't know if they really needed a team. They have been fools for not taking Durant, though. You know, it's like somebody asking you for $1 million. You're gonna take it. You know, you're not gonna turn it down. But shout out to Robert. What up? You know. Now, was the Golden State Warriors a fair team? No. When you add one of the best players in the world to a 73 win team, yeah, it's unfair. But he did what LeBron did, but he just took it to the next level. That's even less respect. That's why people don't respect those championships, you know? As simple as that. That's not a myth. You know, he proved that through his actions, you know? These things will never come about if he didn't approach the game a certain way. He did that to himself. Now, anytime you have Jason Terry talking smack to you and you don't reply back to it like that, that's a problem. You know, Jason Terry got in LeBron's head. He got in the dude's head. There's no buts or ifs about it. He was blown by LeBron. LeBron's defense on Jason Terry was crazy. It wasn't, and when I mean crazy, I don't mean in a good way. I mean, why are you letting this little guy get past you like that? You know, Jason Terry literally was like, hey, I ain't afraid of LeBron. I'm about to give this dude the business. Then he got LeBron mentally out the game. He took LeBron mentally out the game. That's labeled as one of the biggest meltdowns by a superstar in NBA Finals history. No superstar has melted down like that. Most people look at that as an ultimate meltdown. That alone, I don't care if it happened one time. I don't care if it happened one day. Just to do that one time, that's it. Or that automatically puts you in a category of, hey, you know, you're thinking a little bit soft. It happened. You can't erase that. You can't do a Daniel Stapp and erase that off. But, man, I appreciate you guys for joining. I'm about to head up out of here, man. What time is it? Oh, 7:18. All right. Almost time for me to head out. Let me give my shout outs, man. We're going to give shout out to Raw TV, Raw Status TV, Loyalty. We're going to give a shout out to Tay Davis. Shout out to everybody, man. Everybody that joined in on the chat. You know, even though we disagree with some stuff, you got your GOAT, I got my GOAT. It's all sports talk at the end of the day. I mean, no disrespect to none of you guys. Shout out to Samurai Beast Warrior. You know, this channel is mainly for you guys just to come out here and talk your shit, say whatever the hell you want to say. You know, you could say it. You just seen Loyalty sitting there saying Dennis Rodman is better than Michael Jordan. I mean, hey, you're free to say whatever the hell you want to say. You know, I give everybody a free platform like that. So it is what it is. Craig Brown, if you wanted to, you could have came on here and got some spoke if you want. If you calling people haters all the time because they disagree with what you have to say, you know, there's millions of people out there that don't believe LeBron's the GOAT. Okay, there's some people that don't even think the guy in the top 5. Okay, a resume is one thing, stat pattern is one thing. All right, how you do it and are you getting respect by a lot of people is another complete different thing. You know, to me, LeBron's the Floyd Mayweather of the NBA. You know. He probably believes himself to be the GOAT, you know, but not too many other people going to believe that, you know, as simple as that. Yeah, he did melt down against the Clippers. That gets held against him. I already cooked Kawhi Leonard, you know, but he did the wise thing. He kept his mouth shut and went back into the gym and tried to work on his game, you know. So we'll see what he got this year. We'll see what LeBron got this year. We'll see what a lot of people have this year, you know. So as long as you're playing basketball, you got something to prove. As long as you're out there on the basketball court, in LeBron's case, he's still considered a top 5 player in the game, you got something to prove. You know? Every year you have something to prove in basketball. There's no such a thing as reaching your limit. You can always take it to the next level. That's how basketball is, or sports in general. But I'm out. Peace. Peace to everybody. And thank y'all for joining the live, man. We're going to be back on live again tomorrow if a game is on. Prince Sports out. Peace. Keep it 3,000.